Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pies Presser. Now the off-season well and truly begins for every club that is involved. List chat, draft talk, trade chat, whatever you want to do. It's time to talk all things black and white. How are we all? I hope we are all doing super well after the grand final weekend. A quick one on that. Obviously, a big congratulations to the Brisbane Lions. They were just far too good in the end. And does it give me any peace of mind knowing that we lost to the side that went on to be the eventual premiers? Not really. You got to beat the team to be there, and we just weren't there. And yeah, they showed that they were a class above Geelong on the day. They're going to be a scary, scary prospect for the next however long, really. As long as they got the Ashcrofts and now they got Logan Morris and Ty Gallup. Those are some kids that have affirmed themselves as, not Gallup, to a lesser extent, but the rest of them, they're going to be definitely going to be stars of the league. So that's another problem we have to deal with, and we certainly have as a club. We have other issues that we need to attend to, and it is look. We had a really good chat all last week about where our list stands, and I think our biggest issue, and we can talk about this, our biggest issue going into next season is just how we are going to make up what's lagging in the midfield. Now, it's most likely you're going to have to come from within. Nick's going to be the spearhead, as he always is. Scott Pendlebury will probably move out of the midfield at some point. Same with Steele's side bottom. I don't think, maybe you get more Jack Cruz. I imagine you get less. You're going to see Josh Dacos go through. You're going to see Bo go through. But really, we're probably hoping that a Demetriou or an Ed Allen we can really strike gold with them. But that is just, it's just inevitable that I think that's going to be our biggest weakness next season. That's just how much of a weakness is it going to be. Where's my charger for this? Give me 1 second, guys. Let me make sure my laptop doesn't die. Bear with me, and then I'll get to some of the comments as well. Give me one moment. All right. My apologies. Ill prepared. Let's see. I'm about to drive down to the beach. Perfect weather to sit in a boot and have an early feed. You're going radio mode. Hopefully I get reception down there. How is it in Perth? It was quite nice in Melbourne for the most part of the day. It was 22. Guys, I get this weird feeling after the footy season, like immediately after the grand final, even leading into that grand final, it was just like emptiness. But obviously, exactly why you're feeling empty. It's because it's not even it happened to me last year. It happened to me after 2023. After the season's done, it's just like this massive part of your life is about to go missing not go missing, but it's going to be on the back burner for the next 6 months to a certain degree. Like, I know we're going to be here. We're going to be here as a channel, and we're going to be posting, and we're going to be doing the live streams and all of that good stuff. But it's just not the same without the games. But yeah, it's always a weird feeling, and I felt that Saturday. I felt that Sunday. Today was okay. It was okay, but yeah, it's a weird feeling. It happens every year. Yesterday, Stewie, Mr. Victoria Park. How are we? Summer is a saver. That's the thing. So you lose footy, but you get the summer. We'll be busy here. I'll watch the NBA, maybe get my head around the A-League and all that good stuff. Don't see Devin Robertson as a mid-void. I see him more of as a high forward. And let's all look into Dev Robertson tonight, see if he's a fit. The thing is, he's not a top-class player. So I'm thinking if Brisbane are the bee's knees and Geelong are the next best and a bunch of other midfielders that go deep, Hawthorn, are they going to add? Adelaide are looking to add Petrarca. So you start to think, okay, what does our best midfield look like against these teams? And I don't think Dev Robertson, with all due respect, is going to be in that conversation. I'm thinking, like I said before, you got Ed Allen, Dimitia, Josh Dacos, Bo McCreary. Curious to see what Harry Perriman can do. Can he play the Josh Dunkley role to not to the same level that as Josh Dunkley plays at, because it's Josh Dunkley. He's played in 5 grand finals out of the possible 10 seasons that he's been a part of so far. So I'm not trying to say that Perriman can be Josh Dunkley, but I'm saying, can he replicate his game in one way or another and get us a bit more competitive there? You're changing your name to Vic Park? I got you. Hi, I hope you're well. Mark, welcome. Brucey, welcome. Brings a bit of zen to the week. Thank goodness I got a hobby outside of football. Helps kill time before it kicks off again. Is that golf or something? Hey, Anthony, did you hear what Swoop said on his show today? He said Collingwood should go after Jamari Ugle-Hagan. Is there any chance Collingwood get him in a trade period this season? There's a lot of risk attached to it, but given it sounds like Western Bulldogs just want to offload him, I would suspect the club would do their due diligence in looking into it. Young kid, I mean, maybe he's a superstar, but he's so checked out of the game. It's not even funny. That's the problem. He didn't play a VFL game this year. How much did he play last year? So you question whether he's got the commitment, which is a baseline expectation. He doesn't even have that. And when you have draft picks that we're short-handed there, you'd be apprehensive to give up any draft pick if you're the Collingwood Football Club, even if it's Jamari Ugle-Hagan, because we just don't know what you're going to get from him. So I don't know. I'd leave that. Yeah, look, I'd invite the idea, but ultimately it would come down to Collingwood scoping him out and seeing where his head's at. And yeah, that's a tricky question. I can't give you the answer for that. What do you think of the Hopper rumor? What do we Jacob Hopper? Where's this widescreen TV? Let's see. Let me search. Let's go on Twitter. Where's this coming from? I checked the Twitter front and I didn't see anything. Have I missed something? Have I seen something and missed something? Can't see it. Let me know. Would be beyond stupid. Pies don't need more of that after Hill. Luke begging for it. I don't know if he's. I haven't seen what he said. I don't know if he's. I haven't even seen the video. I'll go to his chat. I mean, I'll have a look at what he said. What did he just? Is it a fan theory? I'm assuming it's fan theory. Which, if sometimes you want to talk conversation, the forward line gamble, why Jamara might be worth the risk for the Pies. I mean, each to their own, man, I suppose. What if we move Chris to halfback so Josh can play midfield? I think that in tandem with moving Dan Houston into the back line again, I think that's something that works well. Remember, we remember Brisbane beat us by 5 goals twice in the last month and a bit. What are you saying, Rod? No to Jamara. Manny Yasufile. We get Jamara strict contract measures. You don't play, no fucking pay. I mean, it's such a player's market these days, and you can always just play the mental health card and then you get paid out anyway. So yeah, there's just such a big risk there, and I think. Yes, here's the thing, guys. You might get him to Collingwood for cheap as far as picks are concerned, but I wonder what contract he would demand, and then depending on what contract he demands, you also have to keep in mind the legalities around it. What else? What if he does have another absence of leave from footy? Then what? So it's very messy, very messy. Greatness says Ugelhagen with cash negotiations and a third rounder is a no-brainer. It's funny. It's funny how some people, in you guys perhaps, where's this Hopper conversation coming from? Have I missed something? Yesterday chronological. Can you guys point me to where I can see this Jacob Hopper conversation? Yeah, JUH with cash negotiations and a third rounder is a no-brainer. Yeah, I find it interesting that you guys are scared to touch like a Stephen May who plays week in, week out, shows up to training every day. But you guys are more like, there's that, right? There is that. Like, you guys don't want to touch Stephen May because of his attitude, but then you want to consider JUH, which is like, don't know. I don't know what. Do you just not like Stephen May, the look of him, and that's why you don't want to touch him? JUH has not played footy in like 2 years. He hasn't played VFL. He's hardly training. He doesn't even have that baseline level of commitment to the game. It's such a risk. Do you want him to be? I understand. Look, the risk versus reward is alluring. The reward would be monumental for JUH. But to say he's a no-brainer, maybe I'll start a poll. Let's do this. Is Ugelhagen a no-brainer option for the Pies? Let's see. Question mark. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know about you guys. May is far more reasonable than JUH's Badri. As someone who, Cooper? Dogs want to get him off the books, yes. Dogs want to get him off the books, but Jamara will still be able to negotiate his contract or what he's earning. I suppose if the Dogs want him off the book, they'll pay a portion of his contract, so that helps as well. Greatness Fly didn't want Guinea. He ain't going for JUH. The guy is Michael Tuck. Tim Van Coilenberg, welcome. Who is having the better career so far, Ashcroft or Nick Dacos? You could definitely make. You know what? I will say Nick Dacos individually is having a better career thus far. However, Will Ashcroft is having more team success, and I think we all know which one you'd rather take as far as success is concerned, individual versus team. And yeah, I mean, Ashcroft is pretty good on an individual level as well, two-time normie. I think both clubs will be stoked with the players they've got at hand. Joshy says the media would eat. That's the thing. I think Ugelhagen needs to go interstate or something. He needs to go to Geelong. He needs to go. Not that is interstate, but he needs to go to a Geelong. Needs to go to a Sydney, a GWS, a Gold Coast. Just get out of the bubble. Josh Jacobs, May makes no sense as it makes us needing to replace two defenders than one in just Jeremy Howe. Both likely to retire. Same. So would stuff our whole defensive structure. I think Stephen May is just a bit of reassurance or insurance for when and if Billy Frampton's performing. Is Reef healthy and available? Is Jacob Blight a part of this picture as well? I think he's a means to an end, obviously. For sure. But I would definitely still take him. Think about the Lockie Hunter situation. How is Ugle a no-brainer? Wild talk. For a third round, absolutely, says Greatness. As someone who was okay with May coming in, I think people are worried about age as well as attitude. Fair. JU didn't even try in that elimination final last year. Was part of why they lost the Hawks. My memory doesn't serve me that well. I'm okay, man. I'm retiring update. Mate, on to bigger and better things, MD. Congratulations. May on a cheap deal is also acceptable. Okay, so 39% of you say Ugelhagen is a no-brainer, and 61% say no. Interesting. It's definitely a conversation to be had. He's a liability. If AFL was a normal business where you can sack a non-performer, but you cannot risk him going missing and drinking with a smile on his face while he gets paid on contract. Yeah, I agree, Martin. You either there's mental health, and then there's the mental health card. And I think we all know what the mental health, like you play the mental health card, and you get all the care that you, or not the care, what's the word? Like, if you word what you're going through sometimes in a certain way, you ensure that you get paid out and you get looked after, and there's no way for them to cull you or not pay you. And that's why I think there's just too much power in this world where, you know, the player versus the club. I certainly think there's too much power there. Even with contracts, I think just trying to think other sports, but is it much the same? I feel like if you have a contract, should you be upholding it? And should a Port Adelaide be able to hold on to Dan Houston? Should the D's be able to hold on to Petrarca? I think there's that as well. People and teams players just not barging or not budging. I'm hearing we talk to him. What's going on with Butters? I'd be all for it, but JUH is beyond damaged goods. Jesse Hogan was damaged goods. Well, he's 100 times less risky than JUH. We have it, Cooper. True, we do have a history of turning wild players around. He's too talented not to have a crack for the right price. All right, Anthony, JUH is knocking on your door. He says, "I want to come to the Pies. The Bulldogs want a 3rd round pick. We will pay half his contract. You will have to pay JUH $500 a year." All right, let's start with this, guys. Let's be pragmatic about this, yeah? How long does Jamari Ugle-Hagan currently have on his contract? Let's have a look. He's still contracted until the end of next year. Okay. So he's reportedly worth over $800K a year. So how much would the Doggies be willing to pay? And how much of a contract, like how many, that's the next thing is with JUH is how many years are you going to offer him? I'll tell you what, I'd be offering him. So his contract ends at the end of next year. So say you pay, Bulldogs pay $400K, and then we pay $400K for the final year. Okay. That second year, you wouldn't want it to be too much more than 500 to see what he's about and then reevaluate things. Definitely an interesting one. How much you're willing to give up. He's out of contract next year. How long of a contract would you offer him? Yeah, intriguing. You ain't getting Butters. You thought you were getting track. SOS delusion is crazy. Not directed at Anthony. It's not necessity what the Dogs will pay. He can take a pay cut himself as well. I mean, Butters is in the conversation whether we can acquire him with the picks, Brucey. Whether we can acquire him with the picks that we have available. I think, look, you got to think of it like this, Bruce. You have to remember that we will have access to 2027 and 2028 first round draft picks. So I certainly think there's a way to get Butters over to the Pies with 2 first round draft picks. And we can ask for exemption from the AFL to get this. 118 viewers, welcome on this Monday. Welcome if you're new to the channel. Subscribe. We will be here. He's a restricted free agent. Zach Butters will be, right? Zach Butters will be a restricted free agent, won't he? Because he served the club between 8 and 10 years, and he'd be in the top 25% of the club's earnings. Yeah, righto. Why are we even talking about these players? I mean, look, it's fan theory, MD. It's fan theory. I believe someone mentioned that Swoop made a video, so we're just chatting about that. Are we getting Bomber Thompson as a director of coaching as well? Hey, remember, Stewie. Remember, part of the deal to get JUH to the Pies is to put up a nightclub next to the Vitality Centre. Now, he'll be at training every day. He'll be at training every day. how much sleep he has will be debatable, but he'll be in Richmond. Do you think Merritt will leave Essendon, mate? It sounds like he's gone. It genuinely sounds like he's a goner, doesn't it? Not that it has anything to do with Collingwood now. I don't think. Bobby looks committed for next year. Did you see him at the running track? Thinking he will have a massive year. Hope so. Hope he gets himself right. There's a lot to make up for it, and that's the way it goes. A lot to make up for it, but we do a pretty good job as a club in bringing these players back. Next year, we need to go all out again for a flag. If it doesn't work, we rebuild. Have to build around Nick Dacos, Gick. Yep. Yep. Yeah. I think, look, with the amount of changes, guys, I'll share you. We'll refer to this frequently, right? We'll refer to this as much as we can because it gives us an idea of where the list is at. Like we are culling quite a number, or getting rid of quite a number of players this off-season, which is going to make space on the primary list and rookie list. I'm seeing a lot of conversation about the rookie list, having more space on the rookie list, but if we go here, we can paint that picture a little bit more. Would we accept a non-final season? I mean, I'd like to think that we can still make finals with the list we have. I think that would be my baseline my bottom of the barrel expectation. I wouldn't want anything less next year, but like stranger things have happened, right? We missed the finals after the flag, so this is where we are at right now as of. I know that says the 26th, but that was the last time we did a live stream, so we shall change that to 2909. Okay. So on the primary list we have 3. You could potentially bring in McGuan and McCarthy, and then rookie list Saxoner, which will take it to what, 43. And then you're looking at like a May and a Buller. And then, I mean, this is without taking Jamie Elliott, Myercheck potentially off, Mason Cox. So there's still probably another 3 more spots that we can make space with, right? So I think it can look like this. It can look like this instead. So if you take out so what we've changed here is if you take out Tom Mitchell and Mason Cox, let's say I'm gonna gamble that Myercheck is a done thing. I reckon he's gone. He's Max gone. All right, let's move these up. Like, I definitely think there's room to bring players in. It's just what type of quality can we bring in this year? Chuck him over here, Hazy. And then shift these buggers all up. Bang, 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 bang! What's happened here? Is that right? What have I done here? Golf. Bear with me. Trying to make this as clear as possible for you fellas, you ladies and gents. See all that, yeah? Any questions? So at this point, we now have 30 on the primary list, and then we have 7 spots available. Steve-O isn't happening. You can take that to the bank. I mean, it's just an idea. Just an idea. Where's Strawny? Strawny will be a rookie B. Strawny will be... No, he'll be a rookie C. All right. So, this is what... Have I done this one as well? This is what it can look like. That's with Myercheck still on the list, so maybe we'll make one here. We'll go duplicate bad boy. All right. Like, we go, yep, okay, McCarthy onto the main list. McGuan, main list. Jai Saxoner, rookie. Stephen May, main list. Buller, main list. Come on, move it. Fuck. Unlock. All right. So that's, you add 4 to the primary list. That takes us to 34. Yeah? Takes us to 34. We add a rookie. Rookie A, that takes us to 7. That's 41. Yeah? That's 41, isn't it? No, that's 42. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What have I done here? So 37 plus 5 makes... So 4 onto the main list, yeah? 34. Well, that's 41. Why am I getting this wrong? What have I done here? What have I done here, Cass? Why are your numbers not adding up right now? 34 plus 7 is 41, but there's 42 here. We'll go back. We'll go back. Add Blight. Yeah, we'll add Blight. Give me 1 second. Let me just... Maths is not my thing, is it? Clearly not. 36. I think we were at 37, yeah? So 37 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 42. May is a defender, but we are getting one. Do we have rights to match an NGA in a rookie draft? I mean, you wouldn't need to match it in a rookie draft. I don't think it's quite what we need there, right? You don't need a match in a rookie draft. You'll just take them if they haven't fallen in the national draft. You want to hope that Saxon gets taken by another player, another club in the rookie draft. So I don't think you can match though with the NGA rights once they've gone through the national draft. Yasure Lockie. All right. Nah, yeah, Parker will probably move to rookie A, I believe. All right, let me look here. Let me get this right. So right now, there's 37 there, yeah? You got 1, 2, 3, 4. That takes you to 34. You add 1 on the rookie A. That's 41. Why do I keep getting 41? Why am I not making sense to myself? 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. I don't understand. Oh, it's because of the rookie B. Duh, no shit. Idiot. 34, 7, 1 makes 41, 42. Okay. Welcome back to Ray Zaza. All right. You think he's a steal? Exactly what we need. Has a huge tank, 1 to 2 km time trial at Richmond last year. Yes. Stewie, did you watch the video I made? We don't mind Jacob Blight. We don't mind him. So let's say bang, Blighty. You could even rookie list him, could you not? You could really rookie list him. I knew Caminiti was mentioned a few weeks ago on Gettable. But let's just say for the sake of maybe you can't rookie him. Maybe you go bang, 35. That makes 43. And then you leave some space for... Essentially, you leave some space for a preseason supplementary pick. True? NGA, that automatically gets pre-listed if you nominate them. They go on as a rookie B. NGA, that automatically gets pre-listed if you nominate them. They go on as a rookie B. So you'd think then, in that case, so rookie B means you'll be off the payroll. It'll be outside of the salary cap. So then you move Parker to a... I'm not sure if he'd have to go to rookie A or if you go straight to the primary list and then Saxner can be rookie B. So I'd have to figure that one out. I'm going to reply to convos I heard while driving. No to Robertson. JUH is worth a gamble, but it's a huge one. Also, I refuse to accept a rebuild. Me too. Rebuild is... we don't use the R word here. We don't use the R word around these neck of the woods. Let's so by the way, AFL off-season dates. Let's talk about off-season dates. So this week we have the unrestricted and restricted free agency window open. And then you have so that's between the 3rd of October and the 10th of October. From there, from the 6th of October to the 15th of October, you have the trade period. And then in between that is delisted free agency, leading into the national draft. And then you have the national draft, and then you can make your final decisions. I mean, when does the list have to be finalized? Yeah, so late November is when all clubs must submit their finalized primary and rookie list. So players like Mason Cox and Tom Mitchell, are players who maybe we don't find out whether they're going to be at the club next year for quite a while. They're going to explore their options. We might not delist them until after or just leading into the national draft. We'll know how, based on how successful or how hard we go in trade and free agency. We'll have a better idea going into the draft, and we'll know more about Brody Myercheck and Jamie Elliott in the next 7 to 10 days also. So once we know that, I think we'll get a clearer picture of the likes of Mason and Tom Mitchell. I'd expect Tom Mitchell gets delisted, might find another club, and I think Mason Cox, if he doesn't have interest from other clubs, he'll be on the list. Do you think Elliott will stay at Collingwood? I hope so, my friend, Chris. I really do. I really do hope so. We fell short in the prelim with 3 unfit players and a less talented list in Brisbane by 4-ish goals. It's not doom and gloom. They made Geelong look much worse. It's a nice way to paint it, Voido. I like that. No such thing as a rebuild for Collingwood. They only do reloads. I love it. Good Stephanos. What about mini rebuild? Is that a word? Reload. We'll go with reload. Let's see if this Blight can bomb an 80-meter goal after Siren like Malcolm Blight. Very good. Very good, Robert. Why did Blight get delisted if he has such a big upside? Does he have a bit of an attitude problem? Cannot comment, but you can see by Richmond's list, they've got a bunch of talent that stands above the height of 6'3", 6'4", the key position players. So you look at the players ahead of Jacob Blight right now. You've got Noah Bolter, you've got Ben Miller, you've got Gipkus, you've got Tyler Young. They have a bunch of tall young talent. They didn't even want his trigger clause to be activated by playing one more game in the back end of the season. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how he goes. No one is better than Blight. What is actually gettable for us considering age and lack of draft picks we have? Something we have to try. A tune-up, says Stewie. Tune-up's not bad. Good cultures change attitudes. Rick. Yep. I just think JUH could be one step too far. It might be one step too far in my opinion. Hey, for Pendles to get his first soft tissue injury after 19 years in the game is pretty good. That's incredible. That is crazy. JUH is a nutcase. I don't think the Pies need this baggage. Rumours are Blight didn't want to play forward or ruck, only in the back line. He got kind of Billy Framptoned, didn't he, Jacob Blight? So he played out of position after playing in the back line and then never made it back into the first team. I said all this, Stewie. I said this in my video because he needed to play one more game ahead of the trigger clause in his contract. That's why I said it. You're putting my mask on and saying the same thing. It's a reload, says Rocco. Love it. Yeah, actually, I've changed my mind. I don't want JUH. That man's friends are actually gangsters. And look, all the best to him, genuinely. All the best to JUH. But I draw the line at the likes of Jaden Stevenson and Stephen May. And I get different age profiles and different types of talents. But I just think this guy has not played in 2 years. JUH. He hasn't played in 12 months. He hasn't been training. He hasn't been playing in the VFL. Where is his head at? And what type of contract can you genuinely offer someone who's in that position? They have a ton of defenders and the team tried playing him out of position. You got Frampton, the last couple of years, guys, Frampton would play some good games in the back line and then for whatever reason, Fly had to move Frampton elsewhere through a necessity. Played him in Iraq, played him in the forward line. And whenever Frampton came back into the side to play as that defender, like in 2024, he just was nowhere near it. I actually had the same concern when they played Billy Frampton for an extra week or two in the VFL this year. I'm like, we're playing him out of form. But to Frampton's credit, he overcame that battle where he was able to return to the side and find himself in the same vein of form that he was in for the most part of this year. That's been a massive tick. 1 year contract with triggers. Is he gonna accept that? Not Caminiti, too robotic, not a natural footballer, mover or thinker. So this is where we're at. There. If we take these players as listed, 43 players, 35 on the main, 1 on rookie B, which would likely you'd swap Saxoner for Parker. Let me ask this question, actually. Let me ask this question on ChatGPT. Genuinely helps you. So I think if Parker has played more than 10 games as a rookie B, then must he move to the primary list or can he play on the rookie A list? I'm sure some of you guys would know the answer anyways. we recruited Cracker from a prison cell. Eddie Maguire picked him up. Cochrane will be exciting. I'm really keen for Cochrane's season next year. Must be elevated to the primary list. He cannot just shift to rookie A. It must be a senior list spot. Rookie A players, they can play AFL games once elevated via mid-season. Yep, rookie A rules are separate. Rookie Bs can't just convert into rookie B. So in your example, if Parker has played more than 10 AFL games, then by rule, he must move to Collingwood's primary list for the following year. He cannot remain a rookie B and he cannot slide across to rookie A. Thank you, ChatGPT. Well, let's see. So that would make Parker primary. He's played more than 10 games, right? So we'll do this. So that makes 36. That makes 6. And then you just put... So that's still same numbers, right? 37, 42, 43, except Saxoner would be on the rookie B. And rookie B means you'd be off the payroll. So that would actually take our primary list up to capacity if Parker was to move to the main list, which means I asked the question about, say, Mason Cox then. Oh, that's if Cox is gone. That's if Coxie goes, huh? Maybe you'd rookie list Mason Cox? I said that. Why didn't you... Greatness, what did you say? Mate, I genuinely can't catch every comment. I genuinely can't. I'm trying to focus. I have to keep an eye on these graphics, and then I'm trying to keep an eye on the comments as well. Blight, Cochrane, Frampton, Moores, big backs for the next season. Don't forget about Reef. I like that move. Crispy back, Jacos on the ball, and Harvey Harrison in 23 are looking good. Cox is gone, you reckon? All right, well, we keep Coxie there then. But hypothetically, we can rookie list Mason. We can. To keep him on the list if we want. Nah, he's not being rude. He's all right. Shawnee's all right, Teresa. Don't worry. All good. He means well. He's a good lad. What else we say? If we get Stephen May, would that push Frampton out of the team? I think Frampton would have rite of passage. It would be Frampton's spot to lose, really. It would be his spot to lose. We have a need for speed. We need to inject more speed into our front half. Demeter could be the guy. Who else is available with genuine speed? When we talk about genuine speed, I don't see a lot of it. That genuine speed comes from Beau McCreary, but can his body hold up? I see it from Demeter. Ed Allen can't turn a corner. Can only run straight lines. Will Hayes is not a midfielder. I mean, Nick. It's got to come from Nick, Josh, Beau, and then you just complement the rest of the team. Ned Long's going to be there, but he's not speedy, but he's definitely accountable defensively and has learnt a lot this year for sure. So torn about May. One day I want him, the other day I say no. It's a tricky one. I think Stephen Mays he's worth a shot. He's worth a shot. Get him for peanuts. Pay him piss all. More confused as I've had comments that haven't been posted. I'm wondering if that's on my end. I mean, look, sometimes greatness. Sometimes I'll be able to read the comments, and sometimes I genuinely just miss them. Welcome to the 146 viewers in the chat. I appreciate you all. Welcome. Bobby for speed. Forget how quick he's speedy. Like, I'm not concerned about our front half speed when it comes to when the ball is post clearance. It's more so at that center bounce. Front half, I'm not worried. When you got Bobby Hill, Jamie Elliott, Bo McCreary, Lockie Schultz there, that they are speedy, right? But they're not midfield. Like, besides Bo, like those other players, Bobby and that, they're not going to be able to attend too many center bounces. So Buller and Blight. Yep. So Buller definitely. Blight, we're still not sure, right? Give Hayes a full preseason, see what he's about. Make him play tall and small, so at least one of our small defenders. He can do, and maybe that unleashes. We've spoken about Josh Dacos at length, and moving Houston into the back line again, and giving Perryman an opportunity in the middle. I've seen him be posted phone, but on TV they don't come up. Strange, weird, yeah, weird. No, don't show. Mate, I'm sure greatness. Most of your comments would show up here. What would our predicted 23 look like? That would probably require a video. Harvey Harrison, sorry, we haven't mentioned his name enough in this stream today, but Harvey Harrison is definitely someone we can look into, or we should be optimistic about. He's speedy. He had a good season before he did his ACL. You guys do remember though, like he did tire out, didn't he? And that's why he ended up getting managed, because he was tired, and he did lose form. So I'm still reserve. Let's not overhype him, right? We know what overhyping looks like at Collingwood. Look at Ed Allen and Finlay McRae. And I'm not saying Ed Allen's done, but I'd say he's heading more so in the direction of Finlay McRae than another direction. No. Malaka, breaking news. Petrarca now talking to other clubs. Look, SCN. I'll have a look. For me, would I want Petrarca though now, given where we're at? No. You have to give up too much. You have to give up too much for Petrarca, right? As much as you'd love him, it's probably just not the demographic you want. It would now be a shock if Taylor Walker didn't play on at Adelaide in 2026. All parties are expecting the 35-year-old to extend his career into a 19th season. Okay, cool. Danger says the Cats will be back. In addition to his meeting with Adelaide, Christian Petrarca has also spoken to Gold Coast. Okay, so there's nothing doing with Collingwood or Manny. I think Richards could have played high half forward, then Bo plays mid, but hey, hindsight is 2020. What, this year? You'd want Track, the price is right. Probably just wouldn't take him at this point. Genuinely. Going 30, you'd have to offer a first round pick plus other stuff. I think if we're going to bring midfielders in and pay up, I think we're at a point now where you look at the Zach Butters of the world, if possible. So we're gonna have to eat a bit of shit next year in the midfield. Like we're not gonna have that double A talent next to Nick Dacos next year. It's gonna be in 2027 that we see that. Won't be next year. You take Petrarca in a heartbeat. We're contending for the nah. Nope. I don't think so. We would have smashed Geelong, says Dim Sim. Half-eaten Dim Sim. Don't want Petrarca, give up too much, and we should only recruit 23-year-olds and under. This way, we can build a long dynasty like the Lions have. You know, they got a bit of... Look, the Lions, just like Collingwood, they got a bit of help with the NGAs and the father-sons, and so that helps for sure. And they got Marshall through the NGA. Did Gallup come through NGA? I'm wondering, just thinking about that. But anyways, I'd like us to look at Sam Butler to add pace and pressure. This is someone who just found their way into the Hawthorn best 23 voidoid, so I imagine Hawthorn would be pretty bullish on keeping him in, no? We have Ned Long, but he needs a partner, I feel. Who's going to step up if we don't trade for one? We probably won't. We're probably not going to have that partner for Nick Dacos. Perryman is more the like-minded partner for Ned Long, if that's what you're indicating. Perryman, probably. Teresa, thank you for the 5. Nope, you want to build a midfield around Nick, not a 30-year-old that leaves in a few years. I'm with that. Can Perryman be the player to be taught to take over from Pendles? Definitely not in the same light. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But he's definitely defensively accountable. So we've been talking more. We've been linking Perryman to the model of a Josh Dunkley more than anything, at least defensively. I don't think Perryman will be walking into that midfield and collecting 30 and 15 contested possessions and a bunch of clearances like Josh Dunkley would. But I think you'd get a lot of defensive acumen out of or injected into the midfield if you put Perryman there. He'd be solid. Gallup was academy as well. Interesting. Mark's back, is he? Oh, hi, Mark. Welcome. Petrarca will be playing for the Crows next year. Mr. Adelaide, huh? Simpkin from North is a good fit. I think he wants out. I mean, he's probably on big money, though. So I don't think anyone's going to want to pay Simpkin. And plus, he'd be close to 30 as well, no? Yeah, I think it's got to be... It's Dacos brothers and Bo McCreary and Perryman or bust next year for the midfield. You move Pendles to halfback. Sidey plays more forward. And then you just hope that Demetia or Ed Allen can have a massive leap in development next year. But I just don't really see that happening. I'm excited about Demetia. But, yeah. That's where we're at. That is where we're at, huh? Yeah, no over 30s. Simpkin? Dom? I don't know. Nah. Simpkin, when I think about Jai Simpkin, I just think from what I've seen, he just doesn't have the grit. He doesn't have that determination. You be careful picking up players from a North Melbourne club because they don't know how to win. And they don't have a winning culture right now. And they haven't had that for the last 5-10 years or whatever it is. So you be very careful when you bring someone in from a club that doesn't win very often. Get the place lift. 155, welcome. Yes, Chris, yes. We need one VFL to jump into AA. Good luck. AA. VFL to AA would be crazy. Does Degoe play badminton? Well, Degoe, sorry, I forgot about Degoe, but Degoe, does he play midfield next year, guys, or does Degoe do a Dangerfield and play forward next year and then gets unleashed into the midfield later in the year? Maybe that's the next poll. Let's do that. That's very interesting, actually. By the way, 42% of you think it's a no-brainer for Hugo Hagen to be tried. 58% of you say no. So it's definitely not leaning to one side too far either way. How should the Pies use JDG next year? You almost, I'll let the poll do its thing, but you almost feel like you need Jordan Degoe to be a AA midfielder next year and play 24 games. But how unrealistic is that? Midfield. Need him there. Mainly forward until finals. Maybe there's another option I've missed, but I want to know if there's two ends of the spectrum, which one are you going? How should the Pies use JDG next year? Winning the Senate, yes, Emma. So winning the Senate clearances does not mean you win games. It's just a way to win. So even if we have to wait for a gun midfielder, so be it. We just focus on our defense, which nearly got us in. Very true. Statistically, Collingwood have not been a great midfield side even through our premiership year and through the last 6-7 years, this premiership window we've been in. So let's not over-exaggerate how badly we need this player next year, because that can be someone we can secure at the end of next year. But there really is a handing over the baton next year. I'd be surprised if you see much Pendlebury in the midfield. I'd be surprised if you see much side bottom. I'd be surprised if you see much Jack Crisp. So then I ask myself, what can JDG offer? How much can he give? Is Perryman to the midfield actually going to be a thing? Or is this just like hopeful, wishful thinking? Can Bo McCreary actually hold up in the midfield as well? It's a lot of good questions to ask. You wouldn't want to be taking him out of the forward line on the eve of finals and try to plug that hole. Isn't that what they did with Dangerfield though, John? They literally did that. And he had 31 and 3 against Hawthorn. He played a bit of midfield that night, but didn't play much midfield. Did you guys notice that? He played hardly any midfield against Brisbane in the grand final. Do we have a chance at Butters? We'll have to see. With recruiting, are we looking at premierships in 3 years, or do the right thing and concentrate on the 2026 flag? As a footballer and former coach, I know what I would do. I think we're all here hoping we can win a flag next year, though, Stu. No? How about Parker into the middle? He has pace and dare. I think he's probably too weak. Don. And if we're going to see Parker in the midfield, you're going to have to see Parker in the midfield in the VFL first. And we haven't even seen that. And I watched the VFL all year and did not see Parker in the middle at all. What have I missed so far? Asked Bailey. Mate, I'm good. You've missed about 52 minutes of good conversation. So there's always, you can always go back. Jordan can fill the forward void. If he doesn't perform in the midfield in the first few games, then move him back to his old posse as forward and keep him and see how he starts in midfield first. I'm with that. Harrison for the midfield. Take it to the bank. Look, flag seems unlikely, but who knows? I never go into a season thinking we can't win a flag. Never. I never go into a season. So if you're not going into next year thinking we can win a flag, then maybe you shouldn't be here, because we're very optimistic here. We are. We really are. Is Harrison he's only just being reintegrated into full training, so we don't know what position he's been trained in. We will know throughout the preseason. We'll get an idea of where Harrison will be. We'll get an idea of where Geordie will be. We'll get an idea of where Perryman will be in November, December, January's. That's when we'll find out. Dangerfield was playing sore in the final. I would have thought so then. Yeah, I think, look, I should have put an option, but I still think DeGoey somewhere between 60-40, 60 mid-forward and 40% forward. I think that's where JDG needs to be for the most part of next season for us to be really, really competitive. Or it's a piece to it. Would you have JDG and McCreary doing a 50-50 swap forward? I probably would, Thomas. Yeah. And then when shit hits the fan, you just go all in on JDG in the midfield. Stewie says, in training in the last month, Harrison has been doing midfield drills. Well, the wingers, Stewie, will always train with the midfielders, right? So hang tight. It's about winning flags, growing, and getting better at day. But it's a juggling act, isn't it? It's not, are we building for 3 years or are we building for next year, Stewie? It's how can we do both as well? How can we do both? It's a juggling act. It really is. I know people don't want to seem like bad sports, but the gushing about Brisbane has been too much. I've hardly said anything in a negative light about Brisbane. If Houston doesn't fire in 2026, we are cooked. Every player must be 100%. Yeah, Houston will have a better year. You can't have much less of a year than you did this year as a dual All-Australian. I think he'll get the keys to the back line. Josh Dacos will be in the midfield. I reckon we'll be all right. I reckon he'll be all right. He's not a winger. I don't think he's anywhere near athletic enough to be a winger. Once the ball hits the deck, goodness. He's almost as good as Mason Cox at ground level sometimes, Dan Houston. In the final series, he just didn't have that fucking, just get your body in there. Just show some urgency. He didn't have that at ground level, did he, Dan Houston? Did you guys feel that? So that's why you get him off the half-back line and just get him to play and do what he does best and just use the ball well. We need everyone to fire, don't we? McCreary, full-time mid in 2026 with both Dacos boys. Pendles, full-time half-back. Besides Jamie, when was the last time Collingwood had a tall forward? Yeah, it would be Travis Cloak. It'd be Travis Cloak. Hey, keep an eye out for Charlie West. Seriously. If you guys don't know, you will know. I mean, most of you know. And most of you who have been on, follow the club quite deeply will know what the talent that Charlie West possesses. The question is, can he break out next year? So that will be a really close watch. McStay is an interesting one. That's a really interesting one, especially if Myercheck goes. McStay, for me, I've been saying it, has to be a full-time forward. None of this ruck bullshit for McStay next year. Let him find himself in his true position. McCreary needs and must play midfield. If other players can do it, he needs to achieve it for the club. Very true. He just needs to get his body right. Charlie West has been demolishing the VFL defenders. Seen it. We've seen it, haven't we? We've seen it. So hopefully he can translate that to AFL level. Howes is in the question. Oscar Steen's been looking good, Shawnee. Mr. Greatness, he's been looking good. Question is, can he? Where does Mason Cox stand in all this? I think even then he'd be playing second fiddle to. There's every chance that Mason Cox would be third fiddle behind DC and Steen next year. Brendan, thank you for the five, brother. Go Pies. Hopefully a big season next year. We'll all be here. Best surveys to see how many A graders we have. We don't have 10. Then we're just another Carlton, a team of hacks. Come on, bro. What did we not just play in a prelim? Did we not just win a flag in 2023? Did we not play a prelim in 22? Like, you can't be putting us in the same breath of the Carlton Football Club right now. Like, hang on. Look at the Bulldogs. Their whole list is full of A graders. They didn't even make finals. Mate. Do you know what I mean? Buller as well. Buller's another one. Yeah. Plenty to see. Didn't Schultz have a shit year last year, and this year he was a lot better? That's the same thing we're hoping, Robert, that Houston can do. Exactly. Yeah. All right, guys. That's an hour, give or take. We could talk all night, but we'll save it for tomorrow. I appreciate you all being here. If you're new to the channel, once again, hit the subscribe button. We'll be here. I'm trying to be here 5 days a week, at least. We did 5 days last week live stream, so we're trying to do that as much as we can going into the Christmas break, really. We're going to try to take this all the way. So I appreciate you all being here. And until tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, go Pies.